10 years ago, I made the decision to build my personal brand that was elevated, yet approachable, and reflected who I was, not just what I did. I created my website with Show It because it's true drag and drop freedom, so you can easily build and update your site. Plus, their real human support team, game changer. Want to try it for yourself? Head to jasminestar.com/showit for a 14-day free trial and first month free when you subscribe. If you're looking to make your first dollar or your first $10 million in sales, welcome, you are in the right place. If you'd like to overcome objections in 60 seconds, get people to convince themselves of the sale, to be confident in how you guide customers to a sale, and to look at sales like a game you can absolutely win every single day, this episode of The Jasmine Star Show will show you exactly how to do that. Shelby Sapp is one of the world's top sales educators and empowers closers and sales teams to break their biggest records. She joined me in a powerful conversation explaining how she empowers women to take control of the sales process, not back down, and build a future they're in control of. It's no surprise this episode was one of the top 5 episodes all year. The feedback from this episode was unrivaled. And if you enjoyed it just as much as I did and the tens of thousands of other people who enjoyed it as well, I would love for you to send me a message on Instagram to say hi and hear what it is you're selling. I want to know more about you. So without further ado, let's talk about how we can change our businesses and lives by ways of sales. Do you want to learn how to get people to buy anything you're selling? Yeah, we're going to get better. And better yet, we're going to teach people how they're going to want to say yes to high ticket offers. And they're going to wait longer. They're going to climb over fences. They are going to go out of their way to make sure that they are getting what it is that you are selling. And better yet, we're going to overcome any objection that they're going to give to the offer. Welcome to the Jasmine Star Show, where today we're going to be talking about sales, specifically with high ticket offers with high ticket closing sales expert, Shelby Sapp. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I am so happy that you're here. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I have been just watching your stuff for a while. We've been communicating, and now you are here in Newport Beach, ready to take this show on.
100%. Had to come see my girl, and you lured me in with energy drinks and a glass
I said copious amounts. Yeah, I was like, how many milligrams?
Send the pin, and I'll be there.
Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different this time.
Ooh.
And we'll keep you on your toes.
Okay.
So we're going to have, she was not ready. So before we actually get into the show, I want to play a game.
Oh.
Okay. So you ready?
Sure.
Okay. The game is called Welcome to Overcoming 6 Sales Objections in 60 Seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
I know you're ready to play. So here's the goal. I'm going to give her 6 sales objections, and the goal, if we're going to set a timer. Hold on. You're too soon. Oh, we're good. Oh, cool. I know. Go ahead. Take a sip. Okay.
I know.
Okay, here we go.
Where's my caffeine pill?
Okay. Here we go. We are going to be setting a 1-minute timer.
Okay.
And I know you're going to play with me. I know you're going to play. This is going to be real good. Okay. So overcoming 6 sales objections in 60 seconds.
Let's do it.
Starting now. You know what? I think I need more time.
Do you need time or information? Because right now we have 60 seconds of intentional time, and I've got all the information in order to make the decision.
Well, I think it's just a little too expensive.
The price or the cost? The price is what you pay today. The cost is what you pay in the long run by not solving this problem.
But, I've tried something similar in the past and it didn't work.
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go on a couple dates with other people that it didn't work out before in order to find the right one?
Yes.
Awesome. So now you know a little bit about what you like and what you don't like in order to find the right solution.
So I didn't find the right solution, and now this one could be it. Okay.
Exactly.
But I saw a bad review for your offer.
How many bad reviews were on that website? Maybe like 4, 5, 6?
I think I only saw 2.
2. Okay. Well, we have 4,000 people in the program. So 2 out of 4,000 is like 0.0001% of a negative success rate, which I think is actually pretty good.
I need to talk to my husband before I buy.
And you definitely will. You're either going to have one of 2 conversations. You're either going to ask for permission on something that he doesn't really know too much about, or you're going to go to her and you're going to say, hey, honey, I solved this problem for us, and now I'm one step closer to reaching XYZ goal.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Was that the 60 seconds?
60 seconds. Here we go.
Oh.
I'm scared, and I don't think I'm ready to buy. I'm scared.
What are we selling?
We're selling a course.
Some of the best decisions, not only investing into the market, starting any sort of businesses, happen in the gray area. You don't make life-changing decisions when everything's all set in stone. It's actually the best time to do that.
Right. Overcoming
8:30. I had no caffeine.
That was so good. That was when I put you under the fire, and I was like, "This girl."
Called it. He goes,
"Yeah, he did.
She's not going to start off with, tell me about yourself.
He did. Okay, so what people are, if you're just listening or you're watching the video, and what you can't see on screen is Blake Roca is here. He is a former guest of the Jasmine Star Show. He's also a business partner for Shelby, and so he's behind the scenes. And he told her, prep, like, hey girl, you gotta watch out. Jasmine's not gonna come in. It's like, tell me your origin story.
Oh my gosh. Well, I actually made a get ready with me video today where I go, so I heard the very first question is gonna be something a little juicy. I wasn't expecting it to be this juicy, but I love that. Now I'm like, I'm in that energy in order for this conversation.
So we overcame 6 sales objections in about 70 seconds. Y'all, this is the game that we're playing. And the reason I wanted to start here was because the thing that I see from a lot of entrepreneurs is I don't know how to overcome an objection. And I think a lot of the stuff that I've seen from you is like an objection is an opportunity. And so I wanted to show people how you're reframing these objections into opportunities.
100%. And you got it on the head. It's an opportunity. So anytime somebody asks you an objection, it's not a bad thing. It means they're genuinely thinking about purchasing your product, and they're genuinely asking you for more information, and they're wanting help. You know, when somebody says, oh, I really want to do it, but it's too expensive, amazing opportunity for you to build value and sell them even further. Because somebody that asks you 5 different objections before they buy and then they buy, that's a solid customer. It's probably going to buy a lot of other things from you. So it's actually an opportunity to solidify the sale.
One of the things I heard you say was you always look at an objection and it's not a no, it's an opportunity for them to learn more. And you had said the people who buy after asking a lot of questions, they don't have questions once they're actually after the high ticket investment has made. It's like they already did their work on the front end.
Exactly. You don't want the laydown sales where it's like, oh, here's the price. Okay, perfect, buy. This person's going to get in the program and they're going to have so many objections and questions after they purchase. I want the person that 100% knows everything that's going on before they buy. And then they buy it and then they're solid in the program.
Okay, so before we get into your origin story, you focus on empowering female sales leads, strong sales leads for high ticket offers. What's a high ticket offer? Like, what are most people selling once they get out of your program and they are qualified saleswomen? What are they mostly selling?
Coaching programs. So anything over around $3,000 for a program. So your favorite fitness coach, health coach, nutrition coach, mindset coach, sales coach, branding coach, social media coach. They all have sales teams that are kind of behind the scenes that get on these sales calls. So my girls are the ones that are on those sales calls and make a commission for every sale.
Okay. So you have a lot of experience and you have a lot of a very distinct viewpoint. So you have a degree in finance and a master's degree from ASU. But I'm going to go to your story when you are selling pest control door to door.
Yes.
Let's pick it up there because you are educated. You are a competitive athlete. You were an ice skater in Arizona.
Yes.
Like, so you're really an outlier. You like to do the impossible.
I always did the weirdest things growing up, but I think that made me who I am today because I literally despise being normal. Like I stayed so far away from just like the normal soccer, cheer, straight, just like normal life. I was like, I can't do that.
Okay, so that's a very good lead in to not doing anything normal. Well, because here you are, sorority girl from ASU going door to door wearing a polo shirt selling pest control in Minnesota. 100%. How do you get there?
So I was working like every single job I could find in college. I just loved money. So I was hustling, doing whatever I could in order to make money.
Like what?
I was working at a coffee shop. I was social media intern. I helped build the SEO marketing for a company that used to be Carvana.
Okay.
Just anything and every opportunity. I was like, I'm down. I'll stack all of these jobs. I just love making money. And so I just remember doing all these jobs, working so hard and being always capped at the amount of money that I would make per hour. And so I just knew I was going to be successful. I always just knew that from a young age. And I was just looking for that one vehicle. And then I ran into a guy that I call my mentor, even though he probably thinks I'm just like some crazy girl. But he told me about sales. And so he said he made a lot of money in door-to-door sales and how it was the best skill set in order to become successful.
Okay, but I'm a storyteller, so I want to picture this. Like, are you in a hallway? Did you go out for coffee? Like, a lot of times it sounds very idealized. Like, we were sitting in Arizona overlooking the canyon.
Actually, I mean, it was pretty cool. So I spam DM'd him on LinkedIn. So he came and presented into my honor society class about how he started this company that turned into Carvana. And he went to, I think it was Stanford Business School.
Okay.
And I wanted to do exactly that. I wanted to get my master's from Stanford. And so I was like, I need to get more access to him. So I just DM'd him a bunch on LinkedIn.
Like, what's a bunch?
Over the next 3 days, like every little bit. And so he replied to me like a couple days later and he was like, yeah, actually come to the Carvana headquarters in Phoenix and we'll sit down and talk. I kind of just wanted more of like a rec letter from him for Stanford Business School.
Okay.
But anyways, so I sit down with him and he's telling me he's bald, German.
Okay.
One of my still really good friends that I text often, and he is just saying the F word every 2 seconds. And I think that's where I get it from, kind of. Because I was like, he's so successful, makes so much money. I look up to him, and he's just like the coolest guy ever. Like, super casual. I came in wearing like the most business outfit possible, heels. I'm like 18 years old, and he's just like chill in jeans and t-shirt, saying the F-bomb, making millions of dollars, owning this company. And I'm like, what? So anyways, he tells me about sales and he's like, you need to learn the art of sales. And so I said, awesome. I'm taking that. I'm running with it and signed myself up to do door-to-door sales in Minnesota because I saw it on Google.
And so talk to me about going from like, are you driving to Minnesota? Like, what is this?
Oh my gosh. Yes. So this was probably around like February or March. And then I had a friend who did door-to-door sales in high school that I contacted and I was like, hey, I've been thinking about doing door-to-door sales, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh yeah, for sure. Like it starts in May. We're just going to drive from Arizona all the way to Minnesota and we're going to live there for 3 to 4 months. And so that's exactly what we did. I drove up with 2 guys that I went to high school with and lived in an apartment with all guys for 3 to 4 months and sold pest control.
So what time did you wake up in the morning on those days?
6:30 in the morning, and we would come home at like 10:30 at night.
And you're going door to door selling?
Yes.
And this is your training for moving into what it is you do now. But go back, take me back to the girl who is knocking on doors.
Okay.
Like you're knocking on doors to strangers' people's houses. You're petite. You're like Tinkerbell.
Oh, yeah.
What's going through your mind? Are you worried at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm never worried about safety. Like I could walk through the city and be completely fine. I'm not worried about anything bad happening to me. And I don't know why. I've just never been like that.
Okay. So then what about the next thing? Like, so people keep on saying like, no. Or were people saying yes immediately too?
Well, the very first door I ever knocked on in my life, I actually almost sold it, except I didn't know that you could switch people over from other companies.
Okay.
So I'm talking to him. I don't even know what we're selling. I got shown the price sheet, they call it, on the way to my very first day on the doors. So while my manager is like driving me out to this random neighborhood in Minnesota called Brooklyn Park, which is very low income, like kind of a scary neighborhood, he's driving me out. He's like, yeah, so you're going to say this, this, and that, like talking to me in the mirror. And I'm like, okay. I knock on this door and I almost sell him, except he's like, yeah, I would do that. I have another company. Like, I don't know if I could switch. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't know if you can switch.
Anyways, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Okay. Anyways, bye. I totally could have sold him, but I had no idea that you could even like cancel somebody else's pest control and like switch them over.
Okay. So you go through all of this. Now you, the following summer, go back, or is it the following summer, but you go back with a crew of girls at your side?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me. Wait, actually, let's finish the story. So you go through your summer, your first summer ever doing sales, door knocking, building out the skill and thick skin to a no, to eventually lead to a yes. How much money do you make that summer?
$70,000.
So you made $70,000 in about
3 months.
3 months. Okay. So you're driving back to Arizona now. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking? How are you distilling all of this?
I'm thinking to myself, I'm a millionaire. I'm 18 years old, made like $70,000 is a really big chunk of change for a broke college student. And all of my friends just spent the summer partying it up at their local college. And I come back, I'm like a shell of a human being because it really just takes it out of you. If anybody has ever done door to door, you know exactly what I'm talking about. but I'm feeling rich. Okay. So I'm like, the shots are on me. Like, let's go on a trip, da, da, da. And I won't shut up about sales at all. And so all of my friends around me, though, they were like, okay, we thought you were crazy before you did it, but I mean, you are making all this money. Like, I'm down to do it too. So I recruited a whole team of half guys, half girls, and we went out for the next summer. And then I had like my first little sales team. It was about my first summer, I think I went out without like 10 to 12 little sales reps.
And so then of the 10 to 12 sales reps, did they make it through the summer?
Oh, no. So only like 3 to 4 finished. And that's how it is in door to door. It's not like 10 to 12 finish. Like if you go out with 10, maybe 2 will finish. It's very like cutthroat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So then actually, I have a question. Of the people that were there, what majority stayed? Did more of the guys stay or more of the girls stay, or was it pretty equally split?
It was equally split. It was 2 guys, 2 girls.
Wow. Okay. So then that summer, going back to Arizona after the second summer where you have your first official sales team, what are your sales that summer?
I made $150,000 my second summer in 3 months. Yeah.
Okay. So you're driving back to Arizona. What's going on in your mind?
Oh, I'm a billionaire. Like I made double the amount of money. I was running this sales team, and selling yourself, that has its own like struggles, and that's fine. Like I can sell myself anytime, but selling with a team is completely different because you're responsible for other people's emotions. And that's something they don't really train you for, is your sales reps are going to call you as the manager when they get told no 30 times in a row. They get told to off themselves, that they're going to get the cops called on them. And you have to like pick them up, talk them off the ledge in between you selling yourself.
Yeah.
So it was a huge year of growth because I helped other people make an income. And that was like what I fell in love with, because you teach somebody a skill and they go from being terrible at it. You practice with them a little bit and then they're really good at it. And then they use that skill in order to make money. And it's almost like when they call you and they say, oh my gosh, I just sold 8 today. Like, I can't believe I made $3,000 in one day. This is insane. I'll never go back to being a server. It feels like you made that money. It's awesome. It feels better than myself making that money.
So somebody's watching right now, and they're not, most likely, they're probably not door-to-door sales, but they have told themselves that they have an offer, but they're not really good at sales. And so what I hear you say is these people started off terrible. And then it was a skill with a finite set of like systems, ways, frameworks, pathology of selling. So do you believe that somebody with an offer who feels like they're terrible at sales can be good at sales?
100%. Sales is practice. I didn't know how to talk to people before sales. Like everybody looks at me and they think, oh, this girl's so confident. Like that's why she's so good, is because she can talk so well and she has so much conviction in her voice. She's a good communicator. But sales made me that. So it's like I was not that before I got into it. But when you're talking to all these different people from different walks of life over and over again, and your words correlate to the amount of dollars that you make in a day, you practice on it. You refine your craft and you get really good at it. So you don't have to start out that way, but you do have to practice in order to be that way and make money.
That's so good. Okay, so one of the things that I have noticed is after you've done the reps and you're going summers and you're doing the door knocking, you also notice there's a gap in the market. And the gap in the market is, you're saying there's this industry is dominated by men, but women are statistically overall stronger salespeople and they're having better results. So the gap in the market is there's not enough women. So then when do you start registering this, and when do you start speaking to women sales, aspiring women sales?
Right. Kind of from the jump, because I was always trained by the guys in door to door. And the guys that were training me, they were frat guys from U of A, and they talked exactly like that. And so I had to kind of take the bones of what they were training me and refine it into what would work for me. And so I came up with my own script for the sales process that would work as like coming from a woman. Because you get perceived a different way. So the sell is a little bit different. It's not as like hard and aggressive. It's a little bit more of like getting somebody to sell themselves through asking very intentional questions.
Okay, can I put you on the spot? What's one example? Just one example of how the frat guy had given a sales script, and then what was one thing that you did to flip the script so that it's to you?
So back in the pest control days, now I'm having to like think back to what the script was. Basically, they would say, oh, hey, boss man, like, his name was Dallas, one of the guys that trained me. Dallas, if you're watching this, I love you.
This is such a frat name.
Dallas
Okay.
from U of A frat. Love you, Dallas. Dallas he was the most frat guy ever. Would go up, hey, boss man, like, nice to meet you. Let me cut you a deal. I'm the bug boy for so-and-so down the road. Like, if we can fit you in, it's going to be super cheap.
Okay.
And like that, if I said that, I'm the bug boy or bug girl, people would be like, what are you doing? And so I had to get really creative. So I changed that approach to I'm the route manager in charge of the schedule.
Ooh,
so I would say, so it was like, instead of I'm coming over from this person's neighborhood, I'm not going to pretend to be a technician, but I can pretend to be the one that's in charge of all of them. So instead of like, and that would loop back into the closing because all of the guys would say,
like the guys who are opening the door or the sales guys?
The sales guys.
Okay.
The sales guys would take ownership of the actual service. So they would say, when I come, I'm going to do this and I will make sure I will do a good job for you. But for me, I'm not spraying any bugs. I hate bugs. And so I would say like, when my guys come, they will do this. And like, I'm in charge of all of them. So like, make sure they're holding up like their end of the service. And if not, like you let me know and I'll have a word with them. So it was like still the same authority, but in a different perception. And so that was kind of like the script that I would use.
So good.
But the actual like sales process itself, it was a lot more of question-based selling. So rather than just going straight in for the deal and building value up front, I would ask a lot of questions at first. So if I'm pitching an older man that's a little bit more alpha, they don't give you a lot of respect out the gate, like in the beginning, because you're just like a little girl selling pest control, you know? Mm-hmm. So if they had some sort of issue, I would be like, oh my gosh, well, I'm sure like you know your house way better than me. Like, what would you have done the last time that this popped up? Or who have you called? I'm sure you've called a million people. So it's like giving them the pedestal almost to be like, I know you kind of know what's going on. Like, what do you think about this? You know?
So in this situation, we have somebody like an alpha who knows the most about his house. And so you're just co-signing. You know the most. You're assuring him and you're asking him, what might you need so that the sales fills the gap? Now, what if I'll be very gender? I'll play a very gender role. It's a single mom with a home who doesn't know much and she's taking more of like a passive
Those are my
role.
favorites.
Okay, tell me why.
I love the single moms.
Okay.
Because they respect you. Like they respect another woman that's like coming up and working. So they don't see you as like a desperate peon sales rep. They see you as like, that's so cool that this young woman is out here working. So that respect is kind of already built.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I love like selling to women too, because one, women buy way more than the guys. It's in our nature. We just love to buy. And then two, like they respect another woman that's working hard. But you have to make sure that you're not triggering anything that's competitive.
Okay, so I actually saw one of your pieces of content and we have a family-friendly show, but you were talking about the Hooters, like the Hooters approach. Do you remember this?
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
The Hooters approach to
I
sales.
make so many different like analogies, but yes, I do remember that one.
Do you want me to give the framework and then you can expand on it?
Mm-hmm.
So what you had said would be the best, like not that you would-
The
you said-
competitive energy.
The competitive energy. Yes. You're like, not that I would be like selling at Hooters, but what the competitive energy that it sets as a female sales lead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's basically like the Hooters server, whenever she comes up to the table, what they're taught, what they teach the servers to do is to look directly at the woman first and say like, hey, like, nice to meet you. Like, what do you guys want to order? And talk to the girlfriend. And this is if it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend together at Hooters, which I would never do. But if that was the situation, that's how the server is going to approach the woman. Because if she were to just look straight at the boyfriend, the girlfriend could get triggered. And it's like, well, the server only cares about one thing and that's the tip. So she wants to make sure that both of them are having a good experience. So she kind of takes down the guard of the girlfriend by focusing in on her, like right from the jump before she even looks at the boyfriend.
And so the same thing when applied to sales, like, because like we're meeting in person, is if a husband and wife approach the door, you're going to open the door and you're going to look at the significant other. You're going to acknowledge her and be like, hey, I'm here to serve, blah, 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 blah. And then turn your energy elsewhere.
100%.
That's good.
And especially because the biggest mistake a lot of people make too is they think that the husband is the decision maker.
Say more.
I know. It happens to me too. Like sometimes people will think I'm not the decision maker. I'm like, I'm the decision maker. You know, so it's like that can actually really turn somebody off if you assume that the husband's the one that makes all of the decisions. That is a mistake you cannot make. So I always look at the wife first, kind of like let her put her guard down, be like, I'm like, just here to be a sales rep. Kind of like what you said, like, I'm here to serve. Like, you can make a little comment about like, oh, like not anything fake, but something about how you have your own boyfriend or how you're working and whatever you want to do, just to kind of like ping her as like,
to calibrate
I'm not flirting with your man. Yeah.
Okay. So I want your business. I don't want your man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that you had said when it comes to trainings, if for high ticket offers and closing, it's recommended that you bring their partner, the person who is a decision maker. So we don't assume that the husband or the wife is the decision maker. But if it is a two-part like decision making, talk to me about that. Like I get on a call with you and we go through the sales process and I'm like, well, I need to talk to my husband. Or I need to talk to my wife.
So if you need to schedule a follow-up call, this is actually what I'm training my girls on Monday. But if you have to schedule a follow-up call and then they bring on the other party that's the decision maker that wasn't on the call prior, the biggest mistake you could possibly make is just picking up right where you left off and being like, so like, did you guys talk about it? Like,
you got to start the pitch all over.
Right. You have to start the pitch all over because the decision maker needs the value built. They need to be taken through the exact same psychological process of the intro, establishing frame, question-based selling, pitching the offer, building value through feature benefit before the price. So I always start exactly from the beginning. You approach it a little bit of a different way. So if you were on the call with your husband and I was talking to your husband yesterday, but you're the decision maker and we just get on a follow-up call now, I wouldn't start from the exact same beginning in the script because then your husband's going to be like, wait, that's exactly what she said with me. It sounds so robotic.
Yeah.
Like everything she's saying is the exact same script. Like what? So I would say it a little bit differently. I would say, hey, like, nice to meet you, blah, blah. I know you're a big like decision maker in this decision. I'm glad to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. We talked about this, this, and that. Like, what is your perspective on this? And like, do you have anything to add? Like, you kind of recap what already went down and then you ask like their expertise on it. And that's throughout the whole process. So for the questions, it's like, we talked about the biggest pain point being this and this. Is that the same with you? Or like, what else have you found being like a big role in this decision?
One of the things that you do a lot in your content is you say it is better in a sales process to ask questions.
Right.
Your big belief in asking questions. Why? What do you get from the answers?
They sell themselves through their answers. So it depends on which kind of questions you ask. The type of questions I teach my girls to ask are what the issue is and then the emotional like pain behind that problem.
Okay,
so
give me an example. Because I'm simple. I like examples.
Right. So like, what have you done in the past with your career? If somebody's like wanting to get into sales, it's like, okay, what have you done in the past? Oh, well, I was a server for blah, blah. Okay, why are you wanting to make some sort of like career change or side hustle? Oh, well, I just don't really feel like my value is reflected in my pay. That's what most people say. Okay, well, why, like, how does that internal conflict like make you feel when you're going into work, knowing that like you're working so hard, but somebody next to you isn't really, right? So it's like putting them back into that pain state where they get a little bit emotional about like, yes, this is a problem. So you want to ask what the problem is, but you want to ask like how that makes them feel in that moment of dealing with that pain. Now that you have like the current state of the pain, you ask future state questions, which are, what's your goal? What's your income goal? Why that number? What does that number mean to you? Build that emotion around the future. And then they can see that there's a gap between where they're at versus where they want to be. And then how you sell in this gap is how well that you're going to close this person, because you close this gap based off of your product in the program.
Okay. So we're having very foundational sales conversations, which I love and which I'm slurping up like a spoon. I want to flip the script and go to a completely 180.
Okay.
So you say that if you have an unfair advantage, use your unfair advantage to win.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to tie this up and dovetail it in with sales. But you're just like, listen, if you have an unfair advantage, use the unfair advantage. How do you use your unfair advantage? How do you see other people using their unfair advantage?
I think every single person has advantages and disadvantages, and why not use them if you have them? Like, God gives you a gift for a reason. You use that gift. For me, I think I am a pretty good-looking girl, like on paper. So I'm going to get into a career that pays me to be seen. I have a gift of conviction. I love the way that I talk to people and I can convey a message and I can train people. I'm going to use that gift of how I can talk and communicate to my advantage to other people. So I think a lot of the times people think, oh, if somebody has family money, they should, oh, she's amazing, but she has family money. It's like, okay, well, if I had family money, I'd use that family money. I would totally want my uncle and my dad to help me start a business. So it's like,
oh, speaking of,
I know my mom, I know.
Oh my gosh.
She calls me literally 15 times a day.
I love that.
I know.
You should have answered. We would have had a call. We would have had a call with Mom and Steph right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's probably something about like a tree fell on one of my houses or like, did you make it on the
recently?
plane safe?
I saw it.
Yes,
I saw that on social media. I'm so
know.
sorry. Okay, but we're talking, it's ironic that you're talking about if my dad or my uncle had money, I would hit them up and then your mom called.
100%.
Like, let's go.
I know.
Like she felt it. She's like, don't you forget about me.
Yeah,
honey. Don't you forget about me. See, it's that mom energy.
I mean, my mom was a real estate agent growing up. So I always heard her talking about closing deals, addendums. I would help her do open houses.
That's an unfair advantage.
That's an unfair advantage of hearing having my mom be such a hardworking single mom growing up, I think is an unfair advantage because she set the tone for me to want to go out and like create my own life.
Okay, but somebody hears this and they say, yeah, you are a cute girl and your mom was a real as her. I don't have that. Like, what's another unfair advantage?
Social media. Social media is your unfair advantage. The way your algorithm is curated is in your control. If you go on TikTok and you see just like mukbangs all day, okay, well, that's where your intention and your energy is flowing. Why don't you flip it and follow a bunch of creators that post informational content that are everywhere and learn a couple things or create your own? Like, social media is such a tool to where no matter who you are, you can learn anything. Anything.
I've come to believe that things that people will say are like a downfall or something that's heavier or like I have more responsibility. Like before I became a mom, somebody would be like, well, I'm a mom because I can't. I would be like, that's an unfair advantage.
Exactly.
You are a mom, which means that you have a higher capacity for balancing a lot more other things. And so that's why I wanted to bring this up because we all have unfair advantages.
Right.
And so sometimes we don't want to use them. And you're like, flip the script. You're like, use what the good Lord gave you.
Well, it's like you can think of yourself as a victim. Like when I was going door to door selling pest control, I could have been like, oh, people look at me because I'm like an 18-year-old little blonde girl. What do I know about pest control? Or I could say, I'm an 18-year-old blonde girl. People are probably going to give me a little bit more time at the door because they're
not intimidated.
They're not intimidated. Their guard is down. Maybe they even feel bad for me that I'm working out in the heat right now. Like I'm going to use that because my door time allows me to use my powerful words, which is another gift in order to convince them to make money.
So you said, same facts, different belief.
Exactly.
I'm an 18-year-old blonde girl. That's a fact. And then the belief that you apply to that is I'm going to get more time. I'm going to make him feel more safe instead of saying I'm at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
So same fact, different belief. Let's go. Okay. So you had a piece of content that said how to get anything from anyone at any time.
Oh, yeah.
And you taught this thing about labeling. Can you tell me about that? Because I loved it.
I love labeling. You can get anything you want from anybody using labeling, literally. So human beings love to climb to an expectation that you have of them. So if you're dating somebody and you tell them, you are such a terrible boyfriend, I hate the way you do this, this, and that, you're nagging them, they're going to kind of back off and they're going to be like, oh, well, I can't do anything right. Versus if you tell your boyfriend, hey, I love how you do this, like that makes me feel so special. People want that reward system. So they're going to do more things in order to get that same reward. So you telling your boyfriend you're such a good boyfriend, that's going to make him a better boyfriend. You telling your clients that you can use this in sales, framing it in the beginning. Oh,
okay. So we sit down for a sales call.
Right.
How soon are you labeling me? Like I'm a warm lead. So let's say you're selling a high ticket coaching program. I just went through and I saw somebody speak or I saw a webinar and then I set up a sales call and I come to you and I sit down and I'm looking with you. How long before you're giving me a label?
I could do it instantly. You can do it throughout the conversation, but if I do it instantly, I would say, okay, so you just showed up to a webinar last night and you booked this call, right? I love how fast you make decisions. Like you are somebody that moves quick. I admire that about you because now what are you going to do when it comes to the close? You're going to move quick. You're going to be decisive because I'm going to tell you that's an amazing trait that you have that a lot of successful people also have. I see that in you. And then later on, you're going to align your actions to reach that same expectation that I just labeled you with.
Okay, so because I asked personal questions, and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. It's totally fine. You're in a beautiful new relationship.
Yes.
Are you labeling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me an example. Give me an example.
He doesn't need... Okay, so I love when he plans things for me.
Okay.
And so like we're going on like a whole Europe trip for this month. And I was like, I love how you just like hired the travel agent, like booked everything and like totally took care of it. Like that's something that like I really, really like about you. Because I do.
Oh my gosh.
But it's also going to make him like plan more things and do more things and like take care of things for me.
This is so funny. This actually happened with my husband and I last night. And I was labeling and I didn't know I was. So I feel like I'm in a place of power to like really step into it.
Right.
So it's my sister-in-law who I love. It's her son's birthday. And so my husband, I'm telling you, Shelby, in his life, he has never bought a gift. I love giving gifts. Well, he gets gifts for me and he'll get gifts for our daughter, but for nobody else. And so this nephew, he's like very close to and he loves, but I buy all the gifts. And so I'm leaving on a trip and I'm going to miss the birthday. So I got everything yesterday and I packed it up and I wrote a card from all of us and I told him, hey, I'm leaving this. Do not forget it for the party this weekend. I love you. And then we're going on and he comes back and I'm washing my face over the night. And he's like, I just want to say how much it meant to me that you got the gifts and you handle it. And I was like, I just want you to know that when you see me do these things for your family, that it makes me feel like very seen and valued. And so now, and I was like, so in the future, if you want to tell me like I'm great for taking care of your family, go ahead, tell me more.
Because it makes you want to do more of it. It's exactly what it is.
And now using this like very effectively and respectfully in sales is so phenomenal. Okay, so why do you believe we should start telling people what to do? Like on sales, I've always had the flip approach, which probably why I'm not teaching people how to, how to sales. You tell people like straight up, I think you should tell people what to do.
Couple things. So number one, in the sales conversation, in the sales context, if you frame the conversation right, which is I'm the expert, then when it comes to the close, which is this is your problem, this is your solution, does that sound about right? Yes. Okay. Well, if you want to have success in this program, you need to do 1, 2, and 3 in order to get that result. You have the frame and you have the authority and the respect from your client in order to be able to say that. For example, if you were to go to the doctor's office, the doctor isn't, okay, well, this is definitely your problem. This is definitely the solution, but like, what do you want to do about it? They wouldn't feel weird about prescribing you with a prescription, or they wouldn't negotiate the price of the prescription. Because they're a doctor and you're going to listen to them because they have the authority of being a doctor.
That's so good.
It's the same thing in sales. You're diagnosing the problem, solving the problem, and giving them the guidelines. If you want this solution,
if you want the prescription, here's the game plan. Here's the game plan.
That's
here's
it.
The price. Here's the duration.
But that video, in the context of what it was sales is all psychology. And so human beings, like they love labeling and the positive reinforcement, their brains take the path of least resistance. So a lot of the times when people don't buy from you, it's because you're not being like the masculine energy of saying, this is the plan. They just don't really know what the plan is. Or it's too much to think about to where they just go, okay, yeah, for sure. Like just send it over and like, I'll think about it. There's not a clear A equals B equals C. It's like there's a couple things around here and they're just like information overload, like send it over. But if you say, hey, this is your problem, this is the solution, this is the game plan, that's that. A lot of the times they'll just go, okay, sounds good. It's really that easy. And so that video was, people love to be told what to do. They love for you to take the lead and make it an easy yes. And I think I used in that video the example of when you're going on a date with a guy.
Yes.
Was that yeah. Because a guy, if they ask you out on a date and they're like, hey, so like, what do you want to do? You're like put into your masculine energy and you're like, I'm not even going to go on this date. Like he asked me where I want to eat. Like that's too much. Like I'm busy. Like I'm just going to ghost him. Versus if a guy texts you, hey, I'm picking you up at this time. We're going to go here. We're going to do this after, wear this. You get that text and you're like,
okay.
It's the same thing in sales.
Okay. So we're talking about all of these principles, and I wanted to lead this conversation with value. But when you
tell me what to do.
Hey, let's go. Yes. So I'm going to sell you into the next thing. So I noticed that you're really good at spotting gaps in the market. So you saw a gap in the market when you were door to door and you could build a sales team, and you saw a gap in the market for there wasn't young females teaching other females how to sell and close high ticket offers. So you step in and you create an offer. Talk to me about where you were as an entrepreneur at that time, because you were going from, I'm really good at this thing, I'm really good at creating content about this thing, and now I'm going to make an offer about this thing. Talk to me about what that offer is and what does the business look like?
Yeah. So I guess like the mindset I was in first was kind of what you were saying, like use your advantages, even though it's unfair, like use your advantages. I'm a woman that was making 6 figures a month in sales and teaching other sales reps how to sell as a woman. And so that was my advantage, was I have all of these talents to offer the world. And
wait, pause. I want to be very clear real quick. Shelby and I met for coffee yesterday. So I do know one thing that I want to come in. She didn't go and say, okay, I'm really good at one thing, I'm going to go and create this big course. What she did was one-on-one, then she did small group, then she created programs. And so I want to talk about that inception, because that's an important thing, because she just didn't go volume. She said, not only am I good, I'm going to become a good teacher of the methodology. Okay, go on.
Well, yeah, I was just sharing my message on social media, and so many people were saying, oh, I want to learn from you. I want you to teach me how to sell. Real estate agents, insurance agents, door-to-door, high-ticket sales reps. And so I was training all of these women, just like booking calls with me or doing like group Zoom calls, because I didn't really know what the course and program industry looked like at that point, to like have your own program. I loved sales. I loved teaching other people. So that's what I was doing. And then I kind of figured out how to format that in a program that is more valuable for the people that are coming in, rather than just like one-on-one Zoom calls or group Zoom calls. These women wanted structured training, and then they also wanted an opportunity. So that's kind of what we did with She Sells, is make it the one-stop shop for any woman, regardless of background, experience, where you are in the world, to be able to learn the best of the best from the best of the best, build the confidence in order to be able to sell something, and then also be able to get connected to offers and to put that skill set to use and make money.
So somebody goes in through a 12-week, it's a 12-week program, and then you're testing them and you're making sure that they're following through and that they're actually verified. And then at the end of it, when they successfully complete it, you have placement, or the goal is to have like a hub where people can be getting placed in high ticket sales. Yeah.
So my company built like the LinkedIn or Indeed of high ticket sales, which is a connection platform, like a software between the graduated closers that we have, like the certified closers that are ready to sell, and then every single high ticket offer that exists in the market. So that way these girls can go through, have everything all in one database, and apply to all of the different coaching offers through that software.
Oh my gosh. Can I, this is a sideways question. Oh my God. Can I totally be selfish?
Yeah.
So I actually came across from you because I was getting DMs and had said, I'm a graduate of She Sells. She Sells. And I was like, what is this? I actually went on a search. That's how I found you. And I was like,
really?
Who is it? Because that's how many women were hitting me up. And I was like,
so many.
This is crazy. So that's how I started on that journey. So because I have a lot of inbound requests, now from my perspective, what are things that I should be doing to find the right salesperson for me? What kind of questions should I be asking?
You should be asking them to send over a Loom. I think that's the best way to see. I don't like to look at text from a closer. I want to see their actual sales call. And so that's what we tell the closers to come prepared with, is for these coaches to say, hey, send me over a sales call of yours. And so we do mock sales calls with them before they graduate.
Okay. Okay. So when I say send me over, I am asking them to send over a sales call from a different offer at a different time. And if I like it, then I say, okay, come on and sell me.
Right.
Okay.
And then you would get on an interview with the girl, and you would ask the girl, what's your experience? What have you done in this program? How long have you been in there? How involved are you? Whatever you want to ask the girl, in order to make sure that this girl is going to be your right hand and your closer.
So if this person is really good at high ticket sales, there's a probability that she's selling multiple programs.
Right.
How does she become familiar with my program so that she's like, what's the training period? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so it's pretty plug and play. So a lot of coaches have like a sales manager who handles all the onboarding. But if it's just you and you just want to hire closers directly, a lot of people have some sort of PowerPoint or Canva that explains your entire program. And then it's the girl's responsibility to get familiar with it. So you send her over all of the materials. She's going to look through, see what you offer, and then she's going to be able to pitch you on that.
That's so good. Oh my God, that was so selfish. Okay, so we started off the podcast with a game. Can we end it with a game?
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Shelby Sapp, sell me this pen. Okay, if you're just listening on audio, she has the pen in her right hand and she has her left hand in a fist and she is writing on the area just above the thumb and she just wrote a tic-tac-toe.
Yes. Miss Jasmine Starr.
Yes.
Would you like to play tic-tac-toe with me? The winner gets $100. You have nothing to lose. The pen costs $10 and I'll loan you the pen if you pay me in your profits.
I just bought a dang pen. That's so good. So tell me, how do other people tell you to sell the pen?
So the actual real way you should sell the pen, besides being like
no, but we don't. No, here's the thing. Everybody's seen. Okay, actually, for people, I always say everybody because this is the game that the game that I play. But people say, well, this is the way you sell the pen. But if everybody knows that's the way you sell the pen, it doesn't work anymore. So we have to come up with the next thing.
The whole sell a pen thing, that is actually how you would sell a pen because that's creative. And that's the biggest thing about sales is you have to be a pattern interrupt. You have to be different than everybody else because if everybody says the same script that you're supposed to say, people are still going to know that you're selling them. That still triggers the sales resistance and they're still not going to buy from you.
Yes.
But the actual like sell the pen exercise is more on you don't just go straight into selling it. You get context first. So most people go, oh, you need this pen because it has a cute little bunny on it. It's gray instead of just black. And I see you're writing your journal like you need this pen, blah, blah, blah. What you should do is, well, what do you do for work? Why would you even need a pen? Why don't you have a pen right now? You ask questions in order to get this person to sell to you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what makes this queen reign. She says, okay, that's the exact system. I'm going to pattern interrupt. I'm going to give you a whole framework. Shelby, where do people go to learn more about She Sells?
Yes. So you can go to our Instagram, She Sells Academy on Instagram, or you can go on my Instagram at shelby.sapp or my website, shelbysapp.com.
Y'all, tag Shelby on Instagram just as a little bit of a shout out and a token of appreciation. She has just spent so much energy, time in helping you sell what your offer is and then empowering you to hire high ticket closers when that time is here. Shelby, thank you so much for being and just sharing on the Jasmine Starr Show. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.